Hey everybody, it's Chris E. Wootini from GayGamer.net here with another weekly video podcast. As you can see, I have a new Animal Crossing shirt. Nintendo World tweeted out a photo of this awesome Forever Alone t-shirt with Tommy Nook on it. And over the last weekend, so I went in Monday after work. I didn't want it to go out of stock. I went in immediately. I was like, I'm not missing out on this shirt, it's awesome. And I found the shirt on the rack, and it is a women's shirt. So I asked the salesman if it came in a unisex, and he said no, it does not. Because apparently Nintendo thinks that only girls play Animal Crossing, I guess. Hello Nintendo, boys play Animal Crossing too, and we would appreciate t-shirts being unisex so that we don't miss out. Because I would buy any Animal Crossing t-shirt that you produce. And I ended up buying this one, as you can see, because the salesman suggested that I could just cut the sleeves off. And I was initially like, yes, I could do that. And I was like, no, I'll just fuck it up and ruin the shirt, and that'll be, $20 down the drain. But then I was like, no, I want to try it because I think I could do it, and if I'm careful, I won't fuck up the shirt. And I was careful, and I don't think I fucked it up too bad, so I can actually wear it now that it's a tank top. So that's good. Yeah, Nintendo. Boys play Animal Crossing too, so please go unisex on the t-shirts. I understand, like, if it was, like the pink Princess Peach tank top that I got. I get it. That's a women's tank top. It's a bright pink tank top with Princess Peach on it. You're making that for girls, fine. But this is not a girl's t-shirt. Like, the design and everything, it's not a pink t-shirt or anything, with Isabelle on it being all girly. This is just Tom Nook, so it's unisex, please. Thank you, in future. Nintendo World also had a fun little event this past weekend, where for a couple of hours they had a special Animal Crossing party. And I went so that I could visit other towns and people could visit my town, but I did not know there was going to be a quiz. They actually had 3 quizzes. They had guess if the art is fake or real, name these villagers, and name these bugs and fish. The art test I think I did okay on. I never checked my answers, but that one was, it's 50-50. You could get it right. Naming the bugs, I cheated by looking in my game, in the log, to name them. But then I found out there were a few that I never actually caught, because I'm not a big completionist with the bugs and fish. And then for the people, like the residents, forget it. Like, that wasn't going to happen. Like, I guessed the ones that I knew, like Agent S and Margie, who are in my town right now, and Hopper, who I remember, and, like, Biscuit, but, like, there were a few there where I was like, you look vaguely familiar, but I don't know your name. There was also a quiz for, they played some KK Slider songs, and you had to guess the title of the KK Slider song. But they were all obvious, because then they gave clues, because there was only one that I knew. Like, KK Tango, I guessed, just from listening to the song. The other ones, they had to give a clue, and then it's like KK Blues, KK Rock, whatever. So, and they put all those entries into a bag, and then they pulled them out, and the winner got a plushie. So I didn't care if I won or not, because I already have all the plushies. But if you did each of the 4 quizzes, you got 4 mini posters with the 4 seasons of Animal Crossing Land, and it's adorable. And then when you put those posters together and flip them over, you get the KK Slider Animal Crossing Summer Block Party poster that they made and had up for display. So that was a lot of fun. And it was also great because then I could get some people to visit my town. And it's also amusing because there were people, I never thought about this, but there were people, there was a woman visiting my town, this young woman who was like, oh, can I have some fruit? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, I only just started playing a couple weeks ago. And I was like, what? This game's been out forever. Like, and I don't think, oh, people are just now starting to play Animal Crossing. And I was like, oh yeah, take all the fruit you want. You know, here, take some fossils, take some fruit, take whatever. I wasn't even thinking about that. But it's great to, like, I love Animal Crossing because it's like, you stand there and you're like, oh yeah, and they're like, oh, where did you get this? And I'm like, oh, I got this because of that, and then this and that, and the other, you know, and you just compare towns and you talk about stories, and, you know, it's just fun. So I am seriously obsessed with Animal Crossing. One other thing that I wanted to talk about is this weekend I also played my very first Splatoon multiplayer with friends. Because Splatoon had that update recently where now you can make a party with your friends and you can battle with each other or against each other. And we first battled as a team of 4 against another team of 4. But that we just kept losing and it wasn't a lot of fun. And so, like, my rank never went up because I kept losing. But then we did, like, 2 versus 2, and I still kept losing. I did not actually win a single match that we played. Because doing this made me realize that I'm not actually very good at Splatoon, which is why I don't play multiplayer shooters, because I'm not good at them. Like, A, I'm not particularly good at them, but B, I'm also not, like, super dedicated where, like, I learn the intricacies of every weapon and I, like, you know, get all detail-oriented on, like, okay, here's the gear I want, here's the weapon I want, and, oh, it's going to be this stage, so I want this weapon, and I'm, like, really good at everything, you know. Like, I'm not that intense. I play it very casually. And that's one of the best things about Splatoon, is that it's so much fun, even if you play casually, because you can play the multiplayer, and it throws you onto random teams, so maybe the other people on your team are super good, and I personally run around with my roller, and I just paint the hell out of as much ground as I can cover. That is what I do in every Splatoon match that I play, with regular multiplayer. If I run into somebody and they're in my way, I try to take them out, but more often than not, they take me out because the roller is not a good offensive weapon. Although, if I can get enough ground covered, I can activate the bonus weapon, which is the bazooka, which is pretty good. So I can take out a few people with the bazooka if I'm lucky. But when I played the tower control, like, with a roller, like, I couldn't take out the people on the tower because I had a roller. And then, you know, and I did switch to a gun later on, but it wasn't a particularly good gun, and so we still didn't win that round. And we tried Splat Zone with me and one of my friends versus 2 other friends, and that was also not very good, because, again, these are modes that force you into battle with the other players. And that's not what I enjoy about Splatoon. That's what you get in other multiplayer shooter games, and that's why I don't play them. So doing this made me realize I'm not good at the shooting other people in Splatoon game. You know, like, I can play the regular multiplayer and I can paint the hell out of the ground, and I will be the first or second person often who is, you know, in the rankings at the end as having covered the most ground. Like, I can usually, like, do really well with that and help our team to victory as much as I can. But when I'm in close quarters shooting other players, I'm just not very good at it. And it was not fun. And I've always had so much fun when I play Splatoon. But playing these ranked battles and then these other battles with my friends, like, it was like I kept losing every time, and it wasn't just, oh, I was on a bad team, so I'm going to lose, but then they'll randomly switch everything around, and then suddenly we'll win again. Like, these were modes where the actual gameplay that you have to do is not something I'm good at. So, I don't think I'm going to be doing any of that again. I've never gone near the ranked battles since they added them a while back. I just play regular multiplayer, because I know that if I went into the ranked battles, I wouldn't be very good at them. And this proves it. I would not be good at it, and I would never... I would feel bad, because then I always feel bad that I'm letting my team down. which is why I don't play a lot of multiplayer, because I'm not good at it. So, only regular multiplayer in Splatoon for me from now on. It has been decided. So that's it for me for this week, and I will see you back here next time, and keep playing!